Welcome back to Cities Skylines. You guys probably thought that I'd forgotten about this series. I haven't. I'm back for episode 4. And between episodes, I have built this absolute chaos of an intersection, which will eventually be in the main downtown city. Now, my thought process behind this is we're going to have the main roads that feed the entire city, the bus stops and the housing and everything like that down here. But to keep as much traffic above the city as possible, I came up with this idea of this large intersection area. So the main actual roads that connect the different sections of the city will be a lot higher up. So people who want to get from one side of the city to the other, so say they're over there and they want to get over to this section, can actually just bypass all of it using these bridges and connecting to these main intersections. And then this road, the one below it, is a main feeder that just goes directly between the main city to what will eventually become a large business park area in this current fertile land area. This was going to be where we placed down our university, but the truth is that it's too small for where I want it, and also well out of our reach right now. From the next tile, I need to get 17,000 people, and we're only at 7,000. So in order to build a campus, which is what I want to do today, we've got to place it somewhere else. And I've got my eye down here on this riverfront, which we have been sort of developing over the last few episodes. And today, we'll be turning it into our first Riverside campus area. Now, to do that, we are actually going to be sort of reshaping this pedestrianized area that I built in the last episode with the transport hub here. Now, my eventual goal is to replace this library with the campus main building, and then have the campus running along this side of the road and in this entire area. And then the pedestrianized area can be libraries, like little park areas. We're going to keep this bit as it is, the transport hub as it is. And then we're also going to have some sports areas. So let's say we'll have the aquatic center and stuff like that right in this main sort of pedestrianized zone, to make this sort of like a university area and then the main campus off on this direction. Now, if you are wondering what is going on over here, I don't really know, to be honest. I did a little bit of terraforming with the river, and ever since then, this entire farm has just been completely flooded, and the water just doesn't seem to go away, and it's really, really annoying me, but I'm sure it will figure itself out. So today, let's get started with reshaping this pedestrianized zone so that we can get ready for building the entire campus that runs along this riverside. And hopefully, the time we do this, this cemetery will empty out so I can move it and get it out of here as soon as possible. So I have now got the university starting out. Now, obviously, we haven't got too much going on. This is only a level 1 campus, and all the fun stuff comes at level 3 and beyond. So I have managed to get the university up to the threshold where we can get it to the higher levels to get some more stuff to put in. Now, the university hasn't got that much space between the main road and the river, so it's something we're going to have to work with quite well. I'm going to try keep very straight lines so we have enough space to place down the buildings. But my eventual goal is over here to actually not have the university campus area over here again, bring it over, and we're going to have a gap in the middle for a sort of tech hub area using some of the landmark, not monuments, unique buildings, and also some other things from some content creator packs using the Hearts of Korea sort of build style to hopefully create something really, really cool right in the center of the university coming off from the main road. And that's something I want to do while we get up to level 3 and recover our population and also our budget. Because if we have a look at the city info, as you can see, I just spent well over half of our budget, of our treasury, on this university. It's very, very expensive to build. We were at like over 600,000 and now we're at 283. So I do want to recover that, plus all the people that we have lost. I'm going to try do that by adding in some more high density housing in this area that I did get rid of. But there isn't too much space to build over here. So we're going to build a high-tech area over on this side of the campus. Now, we do not have access, I believe, to high-tech housing. That comes with the 10,000 population, but it doesn't really matter because I've got quite a good idea of what we are going to be building here. And it's going to be using the American-style 2-lane road coming off to start off with, I think, or the 1-lane road. And it's going to come off to the river. And it's just going to be a very simple little square area, just like this, just so we get a little bit of offices and housing in here. And it's not going to be too big at all. I don't want this to get too large just because I think having too much this early on in the city will be a little bit excessive. And I think I'm going to remove that center bit here to try get a unique building in using the Art Deco ones. And we can either fit in the research center, because these look like very sort of university style builds. We also have the Robotics Institute and the Electric Car Factory. All of these look like something that would go in a university. Now, what I want is to have this going along the main road. I feel like we're going to get rid of this fence and place this along the main road so it feels like university area. And this section here will have some high density area. So what I want to do is make a separate district than what we currently have along here just for the campus. Now this campus area will eventually have its own unique name. I'm thinking right now of just calling it Riverside University just because it's on the riverside, so it shouldn't be too hard. Again, like most of this city, there's not very imaginative sort of names. We've got Emerald Delta for reasons. So what I'm planning on doing is, this is currently called Woodland Hills. If we go in here and change the build style to Heart of Korea, then get in some shopping areas. Let's just get in some high density commercial there. And this creates some really cool looking skyscrapers. And if we can also get in, I don't want, let's get some IT clusters. No, I don't want IT clusters. Let's get some office wall to wall in as well. Just get a little bit more of a financial district area and get that in there. Let's get 4x4, which is that size. And let's see, can we fit another unique building in here that matches with the whole idea of what we are building? We can get the TV station, but that's not going to work. I think there is one in the Hearts of Korea. If we can get maybe the Chirps Thumbs Up Plaza, which is here. It's inspired by the Touching Hands one in Seoul, I'm pretty sure. These are all inspired by real ones in South Korea. But I want to see if we can get something that matches sort of the university. I don't want skyscrapers yet. Art Deco's a little bit too large. Maybe we can get in the car factory. The electric car factory, that might work. Or maybe even the Robotics Institute. That actually, if I can get this to run along there, those look like two university buildings running along this main road of the university, and just adding these little bits of what's it called, of unique buildings, these things you don't normally associate in City Skylines with universities, and getting it into the campus area will look absolutely amazing, especially once we have connected some actual housing and people start moving in here, shops start moving in here. It will start to look very, very cool indeed. Hopefully these start growing pretty quickly. So a little bit of time has passed since I last talked to you guys, and the area that we just built up, I have already demolished, and that is because I managed to clear out the cemetery, and moved it over to Garnet Hills, this section over here that we built in the last episode. And that means I can now move that high-tech segment that I was talking about into this much larger area over this side, where we will eventually have our Spacity sports areas like the Aquatic Center and other ones we unlock throughout the periods of this city, and also having some of the museums in as well as expanding the general university area over to this section, so we have enough room to build everything. And where we did build, I have now actually placed down a library, just because obviously this was already sort of like a university area, so I think this would be a good place to put down a library. And we still have a hotel and some parks along here as well, just to get a little bit extra money. This might have to move though, because of the fact that we moved everything else away. And I also forgot just to connect the paths like that. But we have also reached a level 2 university area. So that means we can now build some more buildings. And we have now unlocked the outdoor study, the gymnasium, the cafeteria, and a small school fountain. Now, these are quite large builds, and I want to sort of focus this side of the university around the outdoor study area. And that means building some more path routes along here. And I want this to be the central point of this main section. So I want to actually build the campus paths around it. That's not quite there. We want to build it around like that. So then the rest of it is built. So then like the rest of the university, actually, as I'm trying to say, is built around this section here. Now, it's not perfect. I will actually have to level out a little bit of the land here just to get everything nice and flat. I think most of it should be okay. There's that small little section there that wasn't looking great. Now, hopefully we can't actually, it's really annoying that we can't connect it right next to the path. It is really, really confusing that you can't actually do that, because you have these small little gaps. I want to see, can I sneak in some trees along the side? I can. So maybe if we can sneak in a row of trees along this side here, plus obviously we'll still have the palm trees that we've had for the rest of the university. So now that should fill in this small weird little gap that we are experiencing. Come on. Just want to get it in there. Very finicky little thing here, getting this in. And then around the outdoor study section, we can build some other things alongside the rest of the university that we have just unlocked, and towards that small little segment there. So we have also just unlocked the cafeteria, the gymnasium, which can go snugly in this corner here. But I also want to put it on a main road to sort of show the citizens of the city can also use this. So I think actually we can put 2 fountains either side of this road section here, just to get the whole sort of attractiveness scale up a bit. And I think maybe continue this road through here. Obviously get the 2 paths in, just so we can continue with this theme. Come on, get the path in, which is going to be very annoying again to do. Then go straight in like that. And get the gymnasium. That is the study hall, actually. We want the gym, which is there. As close to the path as possible, also on the road. And then we also get a small little path coming from the road into this Riverside path that won't have anything on it. It'll just be a nice little thing for the students to walk down. And then finally, we want the cafeteria as well. And I want to place this close to the library. Again, I just think that would feel like the right sort of place. It's like the main sort of study area of the campus. So building this around this area will really match. And I also want to be close to the road, just for the likes of the whole idea of having sort of like supplies come in through the main roads. And I think that's a good place to put it. Now, simply all we have to do is place down our palm trees along all the paths that haven't yet got them. So that is actually most of our paths, just around here as well. Hopefully we can get across. We can. And not too many more. It's very annoying to do. Now I've got all that done, we can now move on to rebuilding the area that we just built in the previous clip. And I want to use, again, I think I'm going to use 6-lane road, maybe? Or should we use a 4-lane? Let's use a 4-lane road. And let's bring in a bus lane through. Actually, no, let's not use any buses. Let's just keep a 4-lane road that comes through here. And this is going to be where we have our sort of technological high-tech housing area, which is obviously the heart of Korea section of the city. And we're still going to be using the American roads. And I want this to be gridded around the back, but then a curved road for the main road. And again, we also want this to be palm trees running along just because it adds to that grandeur of the entire area. Now we've got something like this. Now, obviously, this isn't great, but I think if we bring in some shops along this side, so like an entire sort of section of shopping here, and along the front, we can bring in our hotels once everything's been built up. And I think maybe also getting in a park as well, right at the front, maybe putting a park right here. This is quite a large one. This is the Old Bridge Park, which came with the Hotels and Retreats DLC, which is a pretty good DLC. Obviously, it's not a massive DLC compared to like Industries or Park Life, but the hotels is another way of making quite a lot of money for your city, especially when you get to a level 5-star, sort of hotel industry company. And also, you want to get some more Hearts of Korea stuff along here. And I think we might even be able to get away with some early skyscrapers. Now, I don't want to go for the really tall ones. These are going to be saved for the main city off when we do the downtown. We can get some smaller office blocks ones, like let's go for this one here. It's quite a small building, and we can actually get away with building this here, I think. And it sort of adds to the sort of Korean aspect. This is from Japan, which obviously isn't Korea, but it sort of adds to that aspect, especially when everything else is built. And water should still be okay from when we had a temporary little area here of housing to get us up to milestones earlier in the series. As we continue the water along. Now, right now, electricity isn't going to be great. I might just connect it over the river for now. And then over time, as the university grows, as this section here grows, we'll be able to connect it into the main university. But another thing, the final thing that I want to build is on this main road, I want to build a sort of the Varsity Aquatics Center. And this will generate a lot of money for the university. And I want to make sure that traffic is not going to be a problem for this. So I think I want to bring in a one-way system. Where are one-way roads? One-way system with a bus lane. We're going to have a bus route that goes directly to the sports facility. And I think if we just connect it like that, so we have the one-way system, we just change the direction there and upgrade that to be one-way as well. So now we have this here. I can place down our aquatic center, and then eventually we'll connect a bus route. I think actually I already have a bus route coming through here. If I am correct, we might not. We do not have a bus route coming through here. But for now, I'll probably just make a temporary adjustment or just create a new line which will run through other routes into the city centre when we get around to it. Right now, we're not going to have the bus route here yet, but I will place down a taxi stand right next to, that I didn't place because it was auto-saving, right next to the aquatic centre. And this should, yeah, it does go underneath the Riverside University. Now, if we modify the university, we'll be able to change the ticket prices, the cheerleading budget. We just get this up to 50, and the amount of coaches, which I'm going to do 5. I don't want to do too much right now, because I am being careful with money right now. We have got the farming area, but that is sort of skeptical. Now that we have this section sort of built up, we're going to jump into our detailing time lapse to get everything that we have just built up really, really beautiful and see exactly how we can make this work. I want to throw in a lot more trees, make this area look really, really nice because obviously the road doesn't match the actual road layouts. Get everything looking a lot nicer and hopefully level up to a level 3 university. We have the campus attractiveness and the students for it. We just need the academic works, which we should be getting at the end of the next academic year. And this, we place down an advertising campaign that gets more people in. So hopefully I'll see you at a level 3 campus. And also when we're not losing $5,000 a week, which is not good at all. So we have reached a level 3 campus area, and I'm really loving how this campus is starting to play out on this riverside. Obviously, you have this small little business hub over here with the aquatic center, but I have also unlocked another one of the specialist buildings, the School of Tourism and Travel, and I absolutely love how we've got this connection running along the riverfront. Obviously, this will be built up over time as we unlock level 4 and level 5 new buildings, everything like that, and continue to develop what we have already built. But elsewhere in the detailing time lapse, as you can see, I filled in the entire area of what we've built so far with oak trees just to fill it in, so that now when you look from above, it looks so much more complete. It looks like a village rather than just having these big empty gaps, which I know are like normal in regular cities and stuff like that. But from the air, it looks terrible. And you see the city most from the air. So I didn't want it to look like loads of empty gaps. And something I didn't record was over here in the utility area. I actually used the Brooklyn and Queens content creator pack to get a small little high density area in here, and it looks so good. It really does work with the forest and the small industrial roads right next to the main highway, and of course the utility center, the road maintenance depot, the geothermal power plant, and the post office. It just works really well along here. And we have also just done a few little things dotted around the city, a few random things, like filling in the main highway with soundproofing, stuff like that, increasing the amount of housing on the town of Willow, small little things like that. But if you guys did enjoy my return to City Skylines, then make sure to like and subscribe. This series will be playing out all on our Saturday uploads. It will not be on Thursdays anymore, as I previously mentioned in community posts. So make sure to subscribe so you never miss out, because you also never know when the next one's coming out, because as you all know, Saturday videos are random. So make sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on the next Cities Skylines video. I have been Emerald Gamer, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.